The night my own mother locked the door on me was the night everything inside me shattered. Her face was half hidden in the dim glow of the lantern. I could see the deep lines of worry on her forehead, but her eyes carried something colder than worry, something final. "Go away," she whispered harshly. "Mom, please, just a little food. I've been working all day. I'm hungry," I begged, pressing my palm against the wooden door. I thought she would soften. I thought she would remember that I was her youngest son, the child who once slept on her lap, the boy who used to run barefoot in the courtyard while she laughed. But she didn't remember any of that. Her voice grew harder. "You are nothing but a burden. Your brother is right. You'll never make anything of yourself. Leave before he comes back." And then I heard the heavy click of the bolt sliding into place. That sound was louder than thunder, louder than my racing heartbeat, louder than every humiliation I had ever suffered. I stood there in the dark street, staring at the door that had just rejected me. My hands trembled, my stomach screamed with hunger, my heart cracked with betrayal. I wanted to collapse on the ground, to scream until my throat burned. But no voice came out. Only silence. Only tears. That was the night I realized sometimes the people who give you life are the very ones who make you wish you were never born. I had grown up believing my elder brother would protect me. After father died, I thought he would step into his shoes. But greed had poisoned his heart. Father left us a small piece of land, nothing grand, but enough to survive. My brother wanted it all. And in his eyes, I was the obstacle. "Why should we feed him?" he told my mother often. "He's lazy. He dreams too much. He'll never succeed. Better to throw him out before he ruins us." And the worst part? She believed him. I worked wherever I could, carrying bricks, cleaning tea shops, even pulling carts. Every coin I earned, I brought home. I handed it to Ma, thinking maybe this time she would smile with pride. But her eyes never softened. She only counted the coins and muttered, "Still not enough." One evening, I returned home and found my brother sitting at the wooden table with a stranger. Papers were scattered across the surface. "What's this?" I asked. My brother smirked. "I'm selling father's land. We'll finally get real money." "You can't!" I shouted, stepping forward. "That land is father's sweat, his blood. You can't just sell it without asking me." He rose, his face twisted with anger, and grabbed my collar. "Who are you to stop me? You're nobody. You'll never be anybody. Get out of my sight." I looked at my mother, hoping, praying that she would defend me, but she didn't. She just sat there silently, as if my existence was an inconvenience. That night, I knew I didn't belong there anymore. I left with nothing but a small bag and my dignity. The city swallowed me whole. I slept on railway platforms, under broken sheds, beside stray dogs. Hunger clawed at my stomach every night. Many times I thought of going back, of begging for forgiveness, but the memory of that locked door kept me away. One rainy night, I sat shivering under a bridge watching water drip from the cracks. My clothes clung to my skin. My stomach twisted with pain. I whispered to myself, "Why, God? Why my own family? Why throw me away like trash?" No answer came, only the distant whistle of a train. But deep inside, a tiny voice spoke. "Don't give up. Prove them wrong. Show them you're more than what they called you." That voice became my fire. I found work at a tea stall. From sunrise to midnight, I washed glasses, wiped tables, and carried heavy kettles of boiling tea. The pay was almost nothing, but it kept me alive. The stall owner, an old man with a white beard, often scolded me. Rahim, faster! Don't spill! Yes, Ustad, I always replied, bowing my head. Even when he shouted, I obeyed, not because I was weak, but because I had learned that patience was my only weapon. Days turned into months. My hands grew rough, my back ached, my dreams seemed to fade. But then one day, everything changed. A man in a crisp suit walked into the stall. His car had broken down nearby, and he stopped for tea while waiting for a mechanic. I served him carefully, balancing the glass on a small plate. He noticed the way I worked, quietly, diligently, without complaint. He said, "You work hard." I said, "Thank you, sir." He said, "What's your name?" I said, "Rahim." He studied me for a moment, then asked a question that burned itself into my soul. "Rahim, have you ever thought of doing something better with your life?" That single question was like a spark in a dark cave. His name was Mr. Kareem. He owned a small construction company. He offered me a job as a helper at his site. My heart leapt. Without hesitation, I said, "Yes, sir. I'll work hard." And I did. At the construction site, I carried sacks of cement, mixed sand, and hauled bricks under the burning sun. My muscles ached, but I never complained. While others cursed the heat, I listened. I watched how deals were made, how workers were managed, how money flowed. Every night, I asked questions. Every morning, I came early. Mr. Kareem noticed. 2 years later, he promoted me to supervisor. For the first time in my life, I felt trusted. I had a small salary, a small rented room, and a dream growing inside me. But I wanted more. Not for revenge, but for dignity. I wanted to prove to my brother, to my mother, to myself, that I was not nobody. I saved every coin. I skipped meals, wore the same clothes, and cut every expense. Slowly, I collected enough to start something of my own. With trembling hands, I opened a small stall selling construction materials near the site. At first, nobody came. I stood all day, dust covering my face, waiting for customers. Sometimes I earned nothing, but I didn't quit. One day, a group of laborers came. They needed nails, ropes, and cement. I treated them with respect, gave them fair prices, and delivered on time. Word spread. More workers came. More contractors trusted me. The stall became a shop. The shop became a warehouse. The warehouse became a company. Years passed, and by the time I was 35, trucks carried my company name. My office buzzed with employees. Newspapers wrote articles about my rise from poverty. People who once mocked me now spoke my name with respect. And then, one morning, as I walked into my glass-walled office, I saw two figures waiting at reception. My mother, my brother. My heart stopped. My mother's hair had turned gray. Her eyes, once cold, now overflowed with tears. My brother, once proud, stood with his head bowed, shame painted on his face. "Son," my mother whispered, her voice trembling, "forgive us. We didn't know. We didn't believe in you." I froze. Memories flashed. The night I begged for bread, the sound of the bolt locking, the hunger, the tears. Anger burned inside me, but another voice whispered, "This is your victory. Don't let bitterness steal it." I took a long breath. "I forgive you," I said slowly, "but I will never forget. The pain you gave me was my greatest teacher. Because of you, I learned how strong I could be." My mother wept. My brother said nothing. I didn't take revenge. I didn't push them away. I helped them with money, but I never let them control me again. I built my own family, one of trust, honesty, and love. Today, when I look back, I understand something powerful. Betrayal is not the end. Sometimes it is the beginning. If my family hadn't thrown me out, I would have never fought so hard. If they had fed me that bread, maybe I would have stayed weak forever. Their cruelty gave me hunger, and hunger gave me strength. The lesson of my life is simple. Never let betrayal break you. Use it as fuel. When the people closest to you turn their backs, let that pain push you toward your destiny. One day, the same people who doubted you will stand silently watching your success.